What about law enforcement for this area? Is this are the business owners expecting the community to handle the law enforcement if there's need? And we can't really say what kind of experience we're going to find from people who are going around with beer or wine. Maybe there won't be any need for law enforcement. Then again, there have been areas where there have been difficulties in these entertainment districts. You know, you think in terms of Beale Street in Memphis has become a really serious law enforcement issue. Austin, Texas, which also has a big, and they have entertainment there. We're talking about lots of music locations and so forth, and other kinds of public entertainment where people come to watch. So, but I don't think we're going to have that here. There's not much of an indication that, although Matt is, you haven't spoken to that, so all I can say is we haven't heard that yet. But who's going to pay? And and I assume that the taxpayer is going to have to bear some of the burden on this at some point in time. I noticed financial interest. The gentleman here spoke about financial interest. He's got some interest down here, and that is a deep concern for the individuals who are invested their time and money down here. But that is a decision that they have made when, in fact, the square has been in a rather lessened state of activity for probably 10 years or longer. You mentioned a couple of restaurants. Can you give us names of those restaurants?
I certainly can. The Townhouse Cafe is the title of one.
Townhouse, the ranch, is it?
The Townhouse Cafe is expressing interest of acquiring an alcohol permit. And
now okay, that's already there on the square.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're not going to be thrown up anywhere.
Oh, you're asking in new business?
Yes.
New business, yes. So the gentleman that just acquired the old store, the old, what was it, Down Home Creations, he wants to utilize the outdoor parking space there for live entertainment.
Okay.
The big concrete pad there.
Okay.
Also, the individuals that own Leffler's would like to own the Walters building, the old Walters building, the hole in the wall next to it. This would also accommodate their desire to have outdoor entertainment. And then this gentleman right here, it would also
Okay,
allow
you're the
for his
restaurant owner
business.
here at the corner up here, is that right?
Yes, sir. And I'd like to say too, on Bill Street, it's a $10 entry now. And I know there's a lot more money being generated for taxes than any churches are paying.
Who you're paying? Who is that? So,
Ask him, hey, Don, ask that man to come in. Ask that man to come in.
I'm Ronnie Long. I'm building a restaurant here on the corner of the square.
Okay.
And that, you know, I just felt like it was a little bit of an attack on the businesses. We need a shot in the arm down here, and all we got to do is go to Springfield, go to Fayetteville, go to Bill Street, look at what's happening. The businesses are doing great. They're bringing entertainment. They're bringing shops, concession stands, people selling things. So it's good for the farmers market as well. But anyway, that's about it, and I'm all for it.
Okay, Ronnie, thank you.
Okay, so now
Is that it,
we have
Don?
three.
Is that,
And let's see here. I think cost again,
Joel?
but this is something that I think maybe some more significant looking into needs to be accomplished, and get people, see where they're committed. But these are just thoughts that have come to my mind as we've listened here. I've eaten at your restaurant a couple of times, enjoyed it very much. And, but we make decisions and we have to live with those decisions. And so I'm not sure that the benefits outweigh the community as a whole interest.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Don.
I have 3 questions, one for the shop owners and Matt, one for you guys. What is keeping the people, you said earlier that they wouldn't be allowed to go back with the same cup in the restaurants that are providing them. What is keeping them from going to their cars and refilling their cup?
Nothing, absolutely nothing, except for the law strictly prohibits that. So, at some point, you have to let adults be adults and trust. When our county passed the law to go wet, our citizens decided we would trust the adults to be adults within our community. So to question the integrity of every single person, or the common sense of every single person, and blanket policy every single citizen that might go into Gene's establishment and acquire an alcoholic beverage and just make the assumption that they're gonna go to their trunk and refill it is not founded. There's no founding for that. That's just nonsense. There's nothing that prevents anybody from going to their trunk right now and go walk around the square. Go do it right now and ask if you can smell what's inside of their cup. There's nothing preventing that right now. Nothing at all, except for the law. Except for the law. Thank you.
Okay. Another question is, why does our entertainment have to be drinking? Why can't we bring money to the stores on the square with things other than alcohol? So what can the youth do? She provided a wonderful question. What are you guys doing for the youth in this? Is this helping the youth? Is this going to benefit us in the same way that it benefits the adults?
The future of Harrison.
Can I answer?
Yes.
Thank you. As far as how can it help the youth, I keep going back to where I'm from because that's the history I have. With the entertainment district, they do charities. They do wine walks that raises thousands and thousands of dollars. They gave us $5,000 just for Special Olympics. They raised probably $80,000 just for one charity event. But they have them like every other month. Oktoberfest, that's beer, but it's for charity. That's what I want to see happen. Entertainment, we have entertainment. We plan on still having entertainment, and I think it's good to have it. I mean, you can have street dances. There doesn't have to be any alcohol there. We need to have things for y'all. But we've got to remember the ones of us, we're all taxpayers too. And we have huge investments. COVID has almost killed a lot of us. So we have to do whatever we can, and I feel strongly that this is a good opportunity. Again, the charity thing, I'm so strong about that. I know we have to do that. And we could use your help when we do it.
All right. Thank you. I have 2 pastors that want to say something, and this gentleman, go ahead, sir. We'll try to wind the comments down here in a little bit. I think we've heard most everything.
I usually hold my public speaking to under an hour.
Oh, Ken! I didn't know, I honest to God, didn't know.
That's
who
what
you
these
were.
masks do, isn't it, Jerry?
Yeah, good to see you.
I have been an owner of a small retail business and a large retail business. I've met the payroll and all that goes with the small business. It always irritated me that people think if you have a business, that means you're rich. They don't have a clue what it takes to make a retail business go. And I truly do have empathy for any retail business trying to increase the bottom line. I also agree with Jean. She is quoted as saying, the square is the heart of the city. I couldn't agree more. And that's the point I'd like to speak to tonight. What will be the image projected from the heart of our city with this entertainment business? The article also said it will be great for bringing in more businesses. We all want more businesses, taxes, employment. And I remember rather clearly about a decade ago, we were sold that if we go wet, those chain restaurants are going to be coming to Harrison because we allow them to serve alcohol. I'm sorry, I missed it. I drove in downtown. I didn't see the Olive Garden. I didn't see the Applebee's. And in the last decade, not one outside chain restaurant has come into Harrison. So when we say bringing in more businesses, I think that's an extremely suspect at best proposition. The article also stated that the main push is to encourage more people to visit our downtown. In the article, I believe you also said the customers want to sit outside and drink their wine with their dog sitting on the benches. Is that correct? Where are the benches?
In front of my building.
In front of your building and in front of other businesses. So if we have tables and chairs and benches to sit in, assuming that no one goes onto the square, I think I had the same psychology man that Councilman Boswell had. My experience in human nature is that if we have the designated glasses, and what draws people now is that you can drink alcohol outside walking around downtown. And when you said, Matt, we need to trust adults, I couldn't agree more. But I have a question. Is underage drinking a problem? The answer is obviously yes. Not one underage drinker has ever got that first can of beer unless an adult purchased it for them. So yes, we can trust most, but there will come someone from out of town that's drawn to the idea, we can go down there and drink. And they will have an adult that will purchase a glass, go out and sit down on that bench or wander somewhere else and hand that cup to a minor. At that point, we as a community have two options. First, because it's generating revenue, we can turn a blind eye and say, well, I didn't see what's going on. It doesn't seem to really hurt. Or we can hire additional police that will patrol the downtown area. Maybe we can call them the Harrison Designated Cup Patrol. And they can find that underage person and cite them and whatever. I don't think either option improves our image as a lovely Ozark community. Finally, you mentioned this a moment ago, Don. Entertainment district. The definition of entertaining is something diverting or engaging as a public performance, usually a light comic or adventure. Remember the hamburger advertisement from some years ago? Where's the beef? Where's the entertainment? To say an entertainment district, to me, is nothing more than a red herring, something that is intended to be misleading or distracting, a misnomer, a wrong or inaccurate name or distraction. It is an improper designation to term this an entertainment district. If this is what you want, may I respectfully suggest you have the moral courage to call this what it truly is, a public alcohol drinking district in the middle of our town. The article went on to say, we want to make downtown a little more lively. Well, promoting drinking across our downtown area will certainly accomplish that goal, and we will certainly have a more lively downtown, if that's what we want for Harrison. Finally, the article concludes by saying, it would ultimately be up to the council to vote if they want the district. And I respectfully say to our council tonight, I don't think you are on the council so that your opinion can be presented. I believe you're here because you want to serve the constituency of Harrison. And to me, we have a choice. We can leave as beautiful a town square as there is in the Ozarks, as it is, or do you think the majority of Harrison citizens want to turn our downtown area into a public drinking oasis filled with designated cups? I think not. Finally, I heard something said a long time ago. Sometimes, it's better to leave things as they are. That courthouse was built 113 years ago. For over a century, that's what our downtown has been built upon. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and I don't think turning that area into an alcoholic drinking oasis is going to be any improvement on Harrison, Arkansas.
All right, thank you,
Can
Ken.
I respond to that, please? Right now, we do have entertainment downtown. The Poorhouse has music. One of the things that are out there that hole in the wall, they went through and made it really nice, and they'd like to have bands and stuff like that. There could be more music. There is entertainment in an entertainment district. But back to what he was just saying about hiring some cops to go around cup control. We need those cops right now. To stand outside the Dollar General store on the square because a kid is going to buy a dollar beer, have an adult bring it out to him, or a six-pack for $6, right? Glass of wine, one glass of wine, $6. The alcohol's already there, guys. And as far as people drinking off the courthouse lawn, it's happening today. And nobody, there hasn't been but about 5 instances I've known since way back when on the courthouse lawn with drinking. To say that this is going to just make drunks out of everybody, no. These are responsible people paying $6 to $12 a drink. So it's not the kids. And if an adult buys for them, yes, he's responsible. The adult. Everybody talks about the downtown. If you know who I am, the last 3 years doing the Christmas lights, I put the word out to all the churches, we could use some help. This year, we got 4 gals, teenagers from the Seventh-day Adventists. Last year, we had 0. The first year, we had 2 churches jump up and put the Jesus and the Mary and the donkey and the sheep on the lawn. That whole thing with the stables and all that, if the churches got together and helped us, we've got a judge that lets us put on the courthouse lawn. It's a big establishment. But guys, it's not you and me, it's us. The downtown's not getting any help from the locals. There's a lot of you I know, and there's a lot of you I've never seen. And I've been standing in this town for 15 years as a merchant. To say that it's going to bring more drunks into town. The House of Hope does that already. We've got rehabs all over this town. I had a great guy working for me last fall. He was an addict. And you could trust him. He was on time. His word was good. He left there. He never showed up. Always wanted a job, but would never come to do it. So to say a few drinks, and we can get more entertainment downtown. The entertainment's not going to be on the courthouse lawn. It's not going to be at a function. It is going to be between the stores. The open glass, you can see what it is. And yeah, they can pour a beer into it. But a kid's not going to get a $6 beer. That's just nuts. The kid's not going to walk around with a clear glass that shows it's alcohol. And he is right about the container. But right now, I mean, the Ignite group, you guys are great. You guys have passion, which we need that in people. You guys came to a courthouse and you push for the no smoking. There's an ordinance on the books or that the courthouse, you're not allowed to smoke on that courthouse lawn.
Rick, I think we need to bring this to the
I'll make it real quick. We got a smoking gazebo on there that's illegal. So I listen to each one of you. You just got to take your time and understand that progress needs to be made forward.
We have one pastor just jumping up and down, and we really got to end this, folks. But I mean, because we've heard about everything we can hear from you folks.
I took out of my evening tonight,
Yes,
and
Pastor.
I want to hear from 2 more people.
Pastor Bramer and Pastor Mike.
Okay,
'Cause I feel
two
like
more
we're
people.
rushing through.
Let's give it two more people.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. No.
Yes, I'm Howard Bramer. I've been in Harrison almost 38 years. First of all, I want to say, Matt, I compliment you for trying to think outside the box. Okay? Yes, we do need to make our community grow. We do need to do things positive. You know, my heart breaks that I'm hearing from you guys as business owners and thinking we as churches are against you, and we're not. We want to see you succeed. We want you to do well. We want our community to do well. And it hurts me to hear you aim accusations at us that you're paying all the taxes and we're not. Our churches do so much for our community. Just like Halloween, our church provided a touchless situation for the kids of Harrison to have something to do safely. There are churches that put on Thanksgiving dinners for the whole community. There are many things the churches do to help this community beyond paying taxes. And I just hate that it's like we're in a battle or something. It's just, we've got a different vision as to how to get about where we all want to go. I bring to you my experience dealing with the alcohol business. 2 years ago, I was working at Thousand Hills Golf Course. For 4 years, I worked there at Thousand Hills. Responsible drinkers, we charged them $6 a can. You know, they got a bargain if they bought a six-pack. We had a cart girl out on the course, and if she found trouble, we got to call at the pro shop. You got to drop what you're doing and get out here. We got a problem out here. You know, responsible adults won't always be responsible. I personally remember catching a group, and the thing was, to be able to play golf at Thousand Hills, you had to sign your life away that you were not going to bring on alcohol onto the property, that you were going to abide by all the rules, and yet every day we would have problems with it. So, you know, my concern is opening it up to where they can just roam wherever, even though you say there's a certain area. I know by experience that they'll not abide by your rules. I've seen it for 4 years. I think you just need to work on some things. I think there's just a lot more thought needs to be given this. I want to see downtown flourish, but you just need to give it some more thought.
Okay, Pastor Bramer, thank you. Mike, you're the last. Pastor?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yeah.
And thank you, council. I just have, first of all, for those of you that know me, and I know most of you in here, I'm a 45-year resident of Harrison and Boone County. I have spent most of that 45 years working for economic development and tourism promotion, bringing people to our city. I love the free enterprise system that we have. And Matt, I do have, right away, I have a question for you. If we don't have to be an entertainment district for somebody to get a liquor license, and being an entertainment district does not guarantee a liquor license. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so there's nothing today stopping anybody from getting a liquor license and opening up another business, another establishment. I appreciate what Mr. West said about the entertainment factor, because outside of the alcohol, we're not here. Now, I understand that some places are doing that, and if some places invest more of their money and they get an ABC license, and they've got patrons that want to come in there, and they want to offer entertainment, they can do that. There's nothing to stop them from doing that. My question is, first of all, Caitlin Sedette, we were blessed for a while to have a reporter from KY3 that lived here in Harrison and reported for us. In August of 2020, she had a story that said DUIs were up almost 50%. And she said that public intoxication was up about 20%. Now, folks, I'm going to go just a little deeper in a little different direction for just a moment, because I think that I think when we're looking at alcohol as the answer to fix the economic plight of downtown, we're looking in entirely the wrong direction. We can establish ourselves, and we can look like many, many other communities. We can do that. But what do we stand for after we do that? That's one question that I have. You know, we've got the young people here, and I think they made a valiant effort tonight to do the study, to do the research, to come and share with us their concerns about their future in this city. We're sitting here just a few blocks away from a youth center that bears Brandon Burlsworth's name, a young Christian man that absolutely opposed alcohol. His office for his foundation is within steps of where this district is going to be. What does that do to his legacy? What does that do to our young people? I'm not an old stick in the mud. It was said to me in a conversation this week that the old guard needs to let go and let progressives take over in the city. Well, the old guard, there are people, old guard, a lot look around here, a lot of the pastors that are here work jobs. They work other jobs. They are business owners. I see that. They're contributing to this community, and they represent a lot of people who have spent their lifetimes here on the values and the character of Harrison. When did it become a bad deal to be a wholesome family community? When did that turn bad? I'm all for everybody doing well in their businesses. But if you look at our district right now, the entertainment district, we've got title companies, we've got real estate offices, we've got insurance companies, we've got the newspaper, we've got all kinds of businesses that close at 5 o'clock. They're not very entertaining, and you go in there to do business. So if people are going to buy buildings and convert and do those things, I think that is great. But I think for us to hitch our wagon in a direction of trying to be something that we haven't been and we are not, we're 30 minutes away from the most Christian, wholesome family tourist vacation destination in America. And if we were going to hook our wagon to something to draw and build on, maybe that would be a direction that we could look at. I just encourage you to think about some of those things. We've got and one last thing I will share with you. We've got communities around us. The Landing in Branson, they've got restaurants that have outdoor patio seating, and on special occasions they will allow certain areas for alcohol, but you can't buy a drink there and walk up and down the promenade there with a drink. Eureka Springs, one of the most liberal communities in Arkansas, just voted this very thing down because the merchants did not want it. So I just encourage you to think about those things. Being a good community, wholesome, safe family place for our kids ain't necessarily a bad thing. Thank you.
Okay, Mike. Good deal. Joel, this is your wait a minute. We have a council member that wanted to say something. Linda?